So, Mark Meadows, last hour, Senator Kennedy from Louisiana this hour. And Senator, good morning to you. The news is fresh, only 60 minutes old. Your reaction?
Well, those not wishing Bill to reside in La La Land, I think will agree with the facts as I'm about to articulate them. Number one, most of the young people and some of the old people who are running these social media platforms are practically Bolsheviks. I mean, they're wokeristas. Now, that's okay. This is America. You can believe what you want. But no one believes that these social media platforms will regulate or censor, let's say, Senator Bernie Sanders like they would former President Donald Trump or Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy. And I think the facts bear that out. Number two, everybody says, well, they're private companies. They can do what they want. Yes, they're private companies. I have a private company that supplies my electricity here at my house. It's called Clico. It's a good company. But Clico is a common carrier. Clico, it's a private company. But they can't call me up and say, Kennedy, we're shutting off your electricity because we don't like your politics. Mm-hmm. And that's what these social media platforms are today. They're common carriers. They're not companies, they're countries. And we need to regulate them just like we regulate telephone companies and internet and utility companies. And those are the facts. And I'm not saying that Facebook's politics are right or wrong. I'm saying they shouldn't have politics. And the only way to get this straight is to either properly regulate them or break them up. But I'm starting to repeat myself, Bill, but the fact is everybody knows their politics is to the left and that they act on it. And that has nothing to do with Trump or Senator Sanders. That's just wrong.
Well, we'll see what happens in Congress because there's people on both sides of the aisle that want to take on big tech for different reasons.
Well, but Dana, we've been talking about, I've been to so many hearings. Mm-hmm. We've been talking about this for all 4 years that I've been in the United States Senate. And Congress needs to get up off its ice cold, lazy butt and face this issue head on. And both Democrats and Republicans understand something's wrong.
And do you think
the social?
I wanted to ask you this, because would it be easier, of course, for Republicans to try to do that if they were able to take back power? If you look at the balance of power shift in Congress from the 2020 census, you have many states like Texas and Florida, Montana, and North Carolina gaining seats in which Republicans would probably be likely winners there. You have already some House Democrats thinking about, well, maybe I got to hit the road and not running again. Sherry Bustos, Ann Kilpatrick, and Philemon Vela are three of those. So if you had to count right now, do you think in 2022, at least in the House, I'm curious what you think about the Senate, can the Republicans take it back?
Yes. I think we can take back the House, maybe the Senate, maybe both. And if we do, we're going to face this issue head on. My Democratic friends, not all of them, but many of them, they profess to be upset, but their people are in control of these social media platforms. Let me say it again. If they want to be a bunch of Bolsheviks, they meaning the head of Facebook and Twitter, and the other, that's their right as an American. But they can't act on it. They can't start censoring people because they're common carriers. They can't do it any more than the my electrical power company can cut off my power because they don't like my politics. It's wrong, and it's hurting America.
Senator,
that's my opinion.
Yeah,
anyway.
Thank you on that. Just we have a minute left here, and you're talking about elections and midterms. Granted, they're a year and a half away, but there's already a bit of a focus going toward them because some are wondering whether or not the Biden agenda can go forward or whether or not it stalls out with the vaccine being the stimulus in the American economy today. But yesterday, the Vice President, Kamala Harris, talked about the border issue, talked about El Salvador, talking about the lack of an independent judiciary in that country, talked about corruption, climate resiliency, and a lack of economic opportunity. Is that the reason why the border's a mess?
No, the border's a mess because Vice President Harris and President Biden believe in open borders. Now, I've heard the vice president talk about, well, we need to give squillions of dollars to the Central American countries and they'll be made well and they'll stop wanting to come to America. If you give them these countries are run by autocrats and they will steal the hair off your head. And if you give them all that money, it'll never make it down to the people. The way to get control of the border is to go back to what we were doing in December and enforce America's immigration laws. And Vice President Harris, who is a good friend of mine, I served on the Judiciary Committee with her, knows that. And if I have 10 seconds, I'll say this while I have a chance to say this to my friend, Vice President Harris. Black lives have mattered to Americans for a long time. And Madam Vice President, you need to give the American people some credit for the racial progress we've made in this country. What you're saying about this country in many respects is hurting us.
Wow. Well, at some point, perhaps you can deliver that message to her face to face as opposed to just electronically. But, sir, thank you for your time today, Senator. Senator John Kennedy, Louisiana. Thank you.